Look at this photograph. A Victorian family, all seated, all dressed in their finest, but one of them is dead, and the family knew exactly what they were doing when they posed for it. In Victorian Britain, roughly 1840 to 1900, photographing your dead was not considered strange. It wasn't a dark secret. It wasn't hidden away. It was placed proudly in the family album, shown to neighbors, sent to relatives who couldn't make the funeral. It had a name, Post-Mortem Photography, and the Victorians had a motto for it: secure the shadow ere the substance fades, meaning capture the image before the person disappears forever. But here's what makes it truly disturbing. They didn't always make it look like the person was dead. Sometimes they made them look completely alive. Photographers would dress the deceased in their best Sunday clothes, arrange them in chairs, prop them upright, position their hands, and in some cases, they would physically pry open the eyelids. One photographer, writing in 1873, described how to open a corpse's eyes. His advice: use the handle of a teaspoon. But even that wasn't enough, because the eyes of the dead go glassy and dull. So some photographers went further. During the developing process, they would paint eyes directly onto the glass negative to perfectly open, perfectly alive-looking eyes, staring back at you from a face that had been dead for hours. And that's not even the part that should unsettle you most. Stay with me, because what comes next reveals something deeply human about the Victorians, something we've completely lost in early Victorian England. If you were born into a working-class family, you were lucky to reach your late 30s. Disease swept through cities without warning: cholera, scarlet fever, smallpox, tuberculosis. Children died before their parents could blink. And here's the brutal truth: for many families, the post-mortem photograph was the only photograph they would ever have of their child, the only proof that their son or daughter had ever existed at all. Photography was expensive. Most families couldn't afford a portrait during life. But death brought the photographer to the door. So that tiny infant, dressed in a white gown, laid in a basket with flowers, that wasn't a whore. That was a mother's most precious possession, the only face she had left to look at. The Victorians even had a phrase for the ideal passing: a good death. Peaceful, surrounded by family, photographed, remembered, not erased. There's one detail about these photographs that nobody tells you. Victorian cameras required subjects to stay completely still for several seconds during the exposure. Any movement, even breathing, created a blur. So in many surviving family portraits, you can tell exactly who's dead by who's in perfect focus: the living parents, slightly blurred, shifting their weight, and the child in the middle, perfectly sharp, every hair in place, still as stone. There was also the practice of hair jewelry. Widows and mothers would cut locks from the dead, weave them into rings, lockets, brooches, wearing a piece of the person they'd lost, literally keeping them close to the skin. To us, it reads as disturbing. To them, it was love. Here's the question this tradition actually forces us to ask: who handles death better, them or us? We hide it. We sanitize it. We move the body out of the house as fast as possible and try not to talk about it. The Victorians sat with it, photographed it, made jewelry from it, put it in the family album. They looked death in the face and said, "You are here. You mattered. We will not pretend you didn't exist." The next time you see one of those unsettling Victorian portraits, the pale child, the propped-up husband, the infant surrounded by flowers, don't see a horror photo. See a family who refused to let someone be forgotten. If history like this makes you think differently, subscribe to Mahoney History. New stories every week, the ones they never taught you.